The head of one corporate-funded think tank has publicly said, and I quote, "They want to defund us and defang us." Public service unions said it publicly, delivering a mortal blow because we stand in their way. This isn't just rhetoric. Look at what they've been successful in doing around the country. 28 states across the country are now right to work. Last week, the Supreme Court accepted a case. It's called Janus. Janus versus AFSCME, a case that comes out of Illinois.
In Janus versus AFSCME, Janus being the new Friedrichs case, the Anti-Worker Liberty Justice Center is suing AFSCME Council 31, asking the U.S. Supreme Court to rule that workers shouldn't be made to pay union dues. Council 31 argues in the case that public workers don't have to join unions. Those who choose to not join only pay for the cost of winning contracts that directly benefit them, not for political activities. Needless to say, the Supreme Court will not be in our favor.
Then that will make this entire country for the public sector right to work.
This case is being pushed by the National Right to Work Committee, the Koch brothers, the ALEC, and other wealthy and powerful interests who want to make it unconstitutional to collect fair share fees from non-members to support our costs of representation. But that's not their goal. That's only part of it. The goal is to deplete union resources and undermine and ultimately eliminate worker power. Matt Patterson of the conservative group Americans for Tax Reform said, "No question in my mind, hard to fight when your bazooka's been replaced by a squirt gun." That's what they want to do with us.
If we don't stand together as union members, we could end up like Wisconsin or Iowa, with dwindling union density and a loss of collective bargaining.
What is on the line here? It's nothing less than our freedom. The freedom of working people to build power in numbers, to negotiate a fair return on our work. Talking about the freedom to make a decent living and provide for your family, the freedom to take your child to the pediatrician or to go to a parent-teacher conference. That kind of freedom will be threatened. The freedom to have access to affordable health care, to live in a strong, safe community with robust public services, to retire with dignity and security. Now, the wealthy and the well-connected, they think they should have those freedoms, but quite honestly, they don't believe that you should.
What we have here, this thing we call the union, it has to be supported, because it's the instrument that gives each and every person in this room and every workplace a voice for dignity and respect for themselves and their families. You have to understand what your responsibility is here. Our responsibility. We're not just fighting for ourselves. We're fighting for all public workers. We're fighting for all workers. We're fighting for our families, for our children, for our parents. No matter what these folks do, if everyone in this room and every local we have says we want to have a union, then damn it, we will have a union. The fight for workers is at its very essence a fight for American democracy. Too much money in politics from the 1%, too much bad distribution of wealth with the rich and powerful. They want complete power, complete control over our society. That's completely un-American. The founders of this nation in the arguments for the Constitution argued that power needs to be dispersed, that power needs to be for everybody, and that the fight for our right to collectively bargain, that our fight to have the freedom to join together to improve the lives of ourselves and our families is not just a fight for us at AFSCME or even for American unions. It's a fight for the very core, the very essence of American democracy.